Hello guys, welcome to the first group and thank you for joining to this class. By the way, how was your day? I hope you're great, right? And today we're gonna talking about subject of value added tax and luxury goods sales tax. But before that, let me introduce the member of this group. The member of this group, it's me, Rizkawati, and to my friends, Takyudin Amri and Tessa Laurencia. For the subtopic itself, we are gonna learn about first taxable good and service, the second digital taxable goods and service, the third intangible taxable goods and service, the fourth self-building activities, and the last NON-VAT object. Let's go ahead. Before we know the subject of both typical tax, we have to know the definition. What is the definition of value-added tax? Value-added tax, it is consumption tax imposed on each production stage, both goods and service, until the final product sells. And for the rate, in Indonesia, normally it's 10%, but in another case, it may change, maximum to 15% and minimum to 5%. Second, what is luxury tax? It is a tax placed on a goods or service that considered expensive. It is not difficult to differentiate from another tax, and this is not direct tax, this is indirect tax. And the tax is just imposed to the price of goods or service and just paying by who pay the goods or service. And for the rate itself, it maximum 200% and minimum 10%, just depend on the price of the goods. So, who is the subject of value added tax? And I also deserve here the object of value added tax to make you complete understand for the subject. The subject of value added tax, it may individual or entity based on statutory regulation of the government carried out the delivery and received taxable goods, which include utilization intangible goods from outside the custom area. Okay, and next, the object of the value-added tax. It may interpret it to taxable goods or service. It may namely tangible goods in the form of movable and immovable goods, as well as intangible goods subject to value-added tax. The example is delivery of the taxable goods in the custom area by the enterprise, import taxable goods, delivery of taxable service within the custom area by an enterprise, utilization of intangible taxable goods from outside the custom area within the custom area, utilization of taxable service from outside the custom area within the custom area. I also here observe some service that exception for the value-added tax. It's like medical, health, religion, insurance, finance, art, entertainment, postage, and social service. And the second exception for the value-added tax, it is for export activities. Today it rate 0%. Why? Because government want to support exporter from Indonesia. But same for the rate of value-added tax, it may change in some condition to minimum 5% and maximum 15%, depend on the condition of the Indonesian. Who is the subject of luxury goods sales tax, or Indonesian we often to hear it as PPNBM. The subject is PKP, pengusaha kena pajak, which produce BKP, barang kena pajak, that classified as luxurious goods in the company or work environment, and the entrepreneur who import the goods in the category luxury. And the object of the luxury goods, it is like vehicles, but except ambulance. Here's vehicle, firefighting vehicles, prisoners, public transportation, and state interest. Another example is luxury residential groups such as luxury home, apartment, condominium, townhouse, and others. And good consumption by certain people, like just limited edition, the some case or often or yeah, it may just limited edition is the expensive or luxury goods and just consumed by certain people. It may classified as luxury good. And the last is good that are consumed to show status or goods that are generally used by high income people. Same like same like value added tax, PPNBM or luxury good also have the exception. It is for agricultural products, plantation products, and forestry products are directly picked or tapped directly from the source. Hunted goods, meaning goods, and bonds, shares, and security. And both important to know that PPNBM or luxury good and value added tax are indirect tax. So in the principle, the tax burden can be shifted to others. Alright, the last discussion on my way is digital taxable good and service. We know today the digital ads have high users. They are increased significantly during the pandemic or the COVID-19 crisis. And government see this as the new source or the new terms that getting income or getting income to the government. And Indonesia not be the first country introduced digital taxable good and service. They are Malaysia and Singapore in the previous. So what is the meaning of digital taxable good and service? Digital taxable good and service is the goods and service that you can get just through internet or through digital. And the legal basis is Minister of Finance Regulation number 48 2000 and Director General of Taxes Regulation number 12 2020. This is the new regulation since the COVID-19 is new. So who is the subject? The subject is the company who have customers residing in Indonesia and their transaction exceeds 600 million EDR per year and or 50 million in 1 month. And the traffic coming from Indonesia exceed 12,000 visitors per year or 1,000 per month. And the object of the digital taxable as October 2020, there are 28 overseas value-added tax providers. It is like Facebook, Amazon, LinkedIn, McD, Free Ireland, Twitter, Zoom, Shopee, Alibaba, Microsoft, so many. And the sanction for the not obeying the rules or the regulation, it is actually for both legal basis is not provide or making clear sanction for the company not obeying the regulation. However, the law number 2 2020 states of overseas digital good and service provide who fail to comply with the regulation will face administrative sanction. So the sanction is just administrative sanction. Alright, maybe just that all from me, and next topic will continue by my friend. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Tessa Laurencia, and now I will present about the intangible taxable goods and services. Value-added tax will be imposed for the utilization of intangible taxable goods and services as follows. First, the utilization or right to use copyrights for literature, art, or scientific works, patents, trademarks, intellectual property right, or other similar rights. Second, utilization or right to use industrial, commercial, or scientific tools and equipment. Third, the utilization of scientific, technical, industrial, or commercial knowledge and information. Fourth, the right to use motion picture films or video tapes for television broadcasting, and the obtainment of all or part of the rights relating to the utilization or the granting of intellectual property rights, other rights as referred above. And then there is utilization in the form of retrieving picture or voice recording, right to utilize picture or voice recording or both for television or other technology of the like, and then right to utilize all or part of the radio spectrum. And the last one, it is the digital services. Digital services are defined as service provided through the internet or an electronic network. Next, we are going to talk about self-building activities. What is self-building activities? It is an activities carried out not in business activity or work by individuals or entities whose results are used alone or used by other parties. For the example, you building your own house is also the criteria for self-building activities. Self-building activities regulated in Minister of Finance Regulation number 163 of 2012 concerning limits and procedure for imposition of value-added tax on self-building activities. Here is about the criteria and value-added tax rate of self-building activities. Criteria for the building that are subject to tax are: the first one, the construction is permanent, where most of the material are made of bricks, wood, concrete, and similar material that are sturdy. And the second is be used. So this means that the building can be used as a residence or private place of business such as shop. Third, for a certain size. So the building that is built must have a total area of more than 200 meter cubic. If they meet these three criteria, then they are subject to self-building activities. Then how much is the VAT rate for self-building activities? It is 2%. 2% is got from the VAT rate of 10% multiplied with the tax base of 20% of the total cost incurred to build the building. Okay, you can see the formula of self-building activities, value-added tax payable here. It is 10% multiplied by tax base. Tax base is coming from 20% multiplied house construction cost excluding land. Now I'm gonna show you the example how to calculate the value-added tax payable for self-building activities. The first example is about Mr. Rudy on a land with an area of 300 meter per square with a value of 100 million rupiah. Then Mr. Rudy intends to build a house with the following details. The foreman wage is 80 million. The total cost of material is 100 million. Then how much is the value-added tax payable on the self-building activities? So the answer is the value-added tax multiplied by the tax base. We get 10% multiplied 36 million, and the result is 3.6 million. So the amount of self-building activities owed by Mr. Rudy is 3.6 million rupiah. Then how to pay and report the value-added tax payable? So the payment of value-added tax payable is no later than the 15th day of the following month after the end of tax period. You can pay it to the nearest bank or post office. And for the reporting period no later than the end of the following month after the tax period ends. Okay, so it's all about the intangible taxable goods and services and self-building activities. Thank you.
All right, I will explain for the next topic is the non-VAT object. So the type of goods that are not object to the value-added tax are the certain goods in the group of goods as follow. The first is the good resulting from mining or drilling result taken directly from the source. This is such as crude oil, raw natural gas, geothermal, unprocessed mineral stone, raw coal, iron ore, tin ore, gold ore, copper ore, nickel ore, silver ore, and bauxite ore. The second is the basic necessities that are needed by many people, like rice, corn, soybean, salt that is with or without iodine, unprocessed meat, unprocessed egg, whole milk without any additional ingredient, fruit, and vegetables. Number three is food and drink that served in the hotel, restaurant, food stalls, and the like, including food and drinks, whether consumed on the premise or not, including food and drinks delivered by a catering or catering service business. Number four is the money, gold bullion, and securities. Okay, next is the type of service that are not object to the value-added tax. There are certain service in the service group as follow. So the first one is the medical health service. That is included like service of general practitioner, specialist and dentist, veterinary service, service of health professionals such as acupuncturist, dentist, nutritionist, and physiotherapist, and midwifery service and traditional birth attendants, paramedical and nursing service, service for hospital, maternity homes, health clinics, health laboratories, and sanatorium. Also, psychological and psychiatric service and alternative medicine service, including those performed by physicians. The second is the social service. So, the social service include orphanage and nursing home service, firefighting service, service for providing assistance in accident, rehabilitation agency service, service for providing funeral homes or funeral service, that is including the crematoriums, and service in the field of sports except those of commercial natures. Number three is the postage service with postage. These include mailing service using postage stamps and using other methods instead of postage stamps. Number four is financial services. That is included in financial services such as services to collect funds from the public in the form of demand deposits, time deposit, certificate of deposit, saving, and or other equivalent form. And then also service for placing funds, borrowing funds, or lending funds to other parties by using letters, telecommunication facilities, or by money orders, checks, or other means. And then financing service, including financing based on Sharia principle in the form of lease with option right, factoring, credit card business, and or consumer finance. And then loan distribution service on the basis of pound law, including Sharia and fiduciary pawning and guarantee service. Number five is insurance service. There are the insurance service covering loss insurance, life insurance, and reinsurance, which are performed by insurance companies to insurance policyholder, excluding insurance supporting service such as insurance agent, insurance loss assessor, and insurance consultant. And the number six is the religious service. So there is included in the religious service, there are service for house of worship, service for giving sermon or da'wah, service for organizing religious activities, and other service in the field of religion. Number seven is the education service. There is include school education service such as general education service, vocation education, special education, official education, religious education, academic education, and professional education, and also out-of-school education services. Number 8, art and entertainment service. These include all type of service performed by art and entertainment workers. Number 9, non-advertising broadcasting service. Include radio or television broadcasting services carried out by government or private agencies that are not advertising in nature and are not financed by sponsor for commercial purpose. Number 10, public transportation service on land and in water as well as domestic air transportation services, which are an inseparable part of foreign air transportation service. Number 11 is labor service. So it is included labor services, manpower supply services as long as the manpower provider entrepreneur is not responsible for the work result of the manpower and providing training service for workers. Number 12 is hotel services. These include room rental services, including addition to hotels, inns, motel, hostel, and facilities related to hospitality activities for staying guests, and also room rental services for event or meeting at hotels, motels, inns, and hostels. Number 13 is service provided by the government in the context of running the government in general. These include the type of services carried out by the government's agencies, including the granting of a building permit, the granting of a trading business permit, the issuance of a taxpayer identification number, and the making of an identity card. Number 14 is parking space provision services. This is the service for providing parking spaces which are carried out by parking lot owner and or entrepreneurs to parking lot users for a fee. Number 15 is public telephone services using Cont, which is operated by the government or the private sector. Number 16 is money transfer service by postal money order. And the last is the number 17 is the catering service. I think that's all from me. Thank you for your time and attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.